I'm Elizabeth Gearhart. I'm here with Kham Inthirath, and he has a marketing and business consultancy agency called inThink. Hi, Kham. What makes you special? Why would we hire you instead of somebody else?
Hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for having me. In the marketing and business consultancy world and the agency world, there's a lot of us out there. And if you're not in the space, might be difficult to figure out who to choose. We typically like to tell our clients, we like to be the third or fourth agency that they get involved in, because they can have a better appreciation about the people that they're working with. The caliber of experienced people within my team. So experience, but also the due diligence in the process. A lot of it comes down to the process. But what makes us unique ultimately is, hearing the pain points that a lot of other clients have had is that we guarantee the results. So what we will meet multiple KPIs and set these KPI goals with our clients that really ultimately lead up to revenue growth. Everyone's trying to grow more sales. We ensure we hit these key performance indicators, these KPIs, or we actually refund the whole money back, 100% of the investment back. So if we don't do our jobs as marketers, just like you hire a doctor or a lawyer to do their job, you want them to do it, and because you don't want to waste time and waste money and investment. So, and that's something that it reassures two things for the client: is our capabilities and our expertise to get it done, but also the budget. Sometimes it's subjective, because some people might say, "Oh, that's expensive," but they don't know what's involved. So, it really does. The whole thing that you say, like, you get what you pay for. You hear people say that it runs true in the agency world, but you got to cover the capabilities and money. So we reassure on a guarantee basis that those two buckets are answered with clarity.
And yet you're still in business, so you must not have to refund money very often.
No, knock on wood, never had to do it.
Well, that's awesome. So I understand my husband owns a patent, trademark, and copyright firm, and there are different ways to approach things. And you say that you do business consultancy. He does the same sort of thing. So if you walk in, he doesn't just sell you a patent and you're done. It really has to fit in with your business, and marketing really has to fit in with your business. So how does that work? What's the kind of combination of those two things look like?
The marketing consulting side.
Mm-hmm. Marketing and business consultancy together?
Oh yeah. So my agency has evolved, because when we started, we were doing SEO, we were doing web development, and then we added branding, because branding is really a fundamental piece. If you don't understand the brand essence and value proposition and value, and branding on the verbal end, not just on the visual end, Elizabeth, like, not people think branding is just logos and colors, but actually branding is like your essence, what makes you stand out. Now you know how to go to market, right? Because you're making sure that you stand out from all that noise. What we uncovered there are processes that the client wasn't ready, like basically sales. So we were saying, oh, you're getting all these leads. Do you have a sales plan, a growth plan in place to scale? And those are conversations we weren't having before. So now we're getting to the business operations side. Okay, well, let's look at your technology stack. What do you have for CRM? What do you have for marketing automation? What tools are you using for production, project management? So we're uncovering like technology stack, operational inefficiencies. We're advising on communication levels internally and externally with their employees, so that when all these leads and their business is growing, they have that covered. So that's that business consulting part. Because if we don't help them establish those fundamental pieces of like running a better business operation to scale, then the marketing efforts are just wasted.
Well, I think that's so true. I think you really have to have the infrastructure set so you can handle the new business that comes in. Because if you can't do the business, your reputation goes in the trash pretty quickly.
Correct. And what we're seeing is a lot of people transition to some type of e-commerce, right? Like, with the pandemic and working remotely, they say, well, we've never done e-commerce before, Kham. Like, how do we do this? Well, let's take a look at your process. Like, from the point that someone learns about you, then they talk to maybe a salesperson, and then they take that order and they fulfill it. Like, let's walk through all that. So they get comfortable understanding the full buyer's journey, and then the full customer journey after the fact, right? Nurturing that person. So now we can help them with that infrastructure piece, and then it's more comfortable for them to go and do a marketing campaign and messaging and social media and content and video and updating their website, all those pieces.
Right. So if I were to come to you, say I brought Fireside to you, because I'm kind of doing it all myself right now, as a new client who has barely any marketing, who has some infrastructure, but like for instance, I need to perfect the CRM, lots of different things. What are some of the first things you would do?
We want to, first we got to figure out your goals, your business plan. The ultimate thing is good marketing, a good marketing strategic plan has to match up and align with a business plan. And that's a big indicator for us. If we have a client who has a business plan, that's exciting because it tells us, they're the right type of partner for us because they have some planning in place and they're going to be keeping up with us to get, because good marketing is also has some sophistication to it, but doesn't need to be complex. However, on the flip side, we have plenty of larger clients who don't have a strategic business plan. All right, let's sit down. Let's put this on paper. If it's a revenue goal, if it's a geography, there's a lot of things involved in the business plan. Then we'll build out your brand strategy, your marketing strategy, your sales strategy, etc.
Well, I imagine those business plans have changed a lot during quarantine. I know my business plan certainly changed for the better, probably, but yeah. So what are you doing to address that with your clients now?
A lot of times it's just transitioning. Some businesses, it's a small transition. A lot of people use the term pivot. It might really not be a pivot. And once we understand, okay, what are your capabilities that you do very well right now? But that's you. What does your customer want? What do they need? How are you providing value? If not, what do they need first? Can you provide value that might be something that you already have internally, but you didn't realize you can turn that into a service or a product? So talking out, it really goes back to the buyer's journey. What does that look like today and what it's going to look like tomorrow? Once you understand the full buyer's journey and how they engage with you on different parts of the sales cycle, then we match what your whole business experience to that buyer's journey.
I see. So that, I don't think I've heard that approach before, but it makes a lot of sense. Maybe people have done bits and pieces of that together, but really people say, oh, who's your target audience? That's what I mostly hear from marketing people. Who's your target audience? But you're saying, what does your buyer look like and how do they behave? And then how do you match what you're doing to their behavior?
Correct.
Which is
that's basically user experience, customer experience. You hear the word UX, CX. That's what it's all about. And we're seeing more and more brands, which are businesses, and a brand could be a small business, a big company could be a brand. We're seeing businesses really embrace the CX, the customer experience, because that's the whole from A to Z. And you see that now, and that's the expectation that people want, consumers, if it's B2C or B2B, is you see the Amazon. They're anticipating Google when you're doing searches. They're anticipating. It's all about that brand experience. I'm sure you go to when we did go to restaurants in a different sense. When you had a great experience there, right? Because they're anticipating everything. They understand their buyers. And the restaurants that are doing really well, they have changed and they're still providing excellent service because they have anticipated the needs of their buyers today.
Right. There was a local restaurant a friend of mine used it quite a bit in her town. At the beginning of the pandemic, when they had to shut down, they took their best recipes and put them in a box and you could come and pick everything up and cook it at home. And they've stayed in business. They're still open. So, they were very clever, very smart, and found a way to, pivot. That's not really the right word because you're not really pivoting because you're still in the restaurant business. So they realigned how they were doing things or something.
They just uncovered another value that's already right under their roof that they're doing.
And that's one thing I've heard that's important about marketing too, is take something that you're doing and maybe everybody else is doing it too, but they're just not talking about it, and talk about it. Right. And then people will find out about something new and they'll come to you for that.
My wife and I have this conversation all the time, and she's big about, being really humble about self-promotion. I said, honey, for you or a business, if you don't self-promote, you're doing yourself a disservice. No one knows that you provide this, that you're an awesome employee, or your friends don't know that you're doing all this great work, that you're helping, other people get healthy. And as a business, people don't know that you're doing all these other wonderful things, either in the community or you're giving value. So you have to self-promote that, and that's through content. That's stuff on your website. That's optimizing your Google business page so people know that what you're doing and you're still open, and this is how you changed. And social media, of course, but you have to do that all. You can't just post it once, Elizabeth. You got to post that what you're doing like every other day, because it depends on the feed. You might not see it, so you just have to be really intentional and do amplifying it all the time.
So if I were a new business and I had maybe a consumer product even, and I could only do one thing, what would you tell me to do marketing wise?
There's a lot to unpack there. If you're you say a consumer product business,
Right. So
right? Like a B2C.
yeah, say that I'm selling a cat brush
Okay.
who are constantly circling through here. So say I'm selling a new kind of cat brush that my cat actually loves, and I really need to get the word out there. What would you tell me to do first if I didn't have a lot of money to spend?
You need to tell that story using video. Use your cell phone. You can even do it on Zoom and have the cat here talk about the brush. You see a lot of micro influencers doing this, right, on YouTube and social media. That's why that's been booming. Instagram, because people are just showing, they're just real people using real products, you know. And it's easy to do. It's free because you're doing that already. You already know how to use the brush. But if you're selling it, of course, you want to show how to use it and maybe use it in different ways. And you turn those into little clips. There's free video editors out there. You know, doesn't need to be high end. You put your logo in the corner, boom, upload it, and then just keep amplifying it and sharing it. And it's just a side note, the pet company business is booming.
That's you know, the unfortunate thing is with cats, there's not a lot you can do. I got my cat to wear hats. So I'm going to start, I have an Instagram channel for her that I have to start posting these pictures of her with her hats on. But yeah, there's a lot of dog clothes businesses that are really doing well. Um, so, so what's the best way to get a hold of you?
You can reach out to me directly, and my email is Kham, Kham, at inthinkagency.com. Visiting our website, we have a chat bot there. We have free resources and multiple ways to contact us there, and you're going to reach one of my excellent team members. So check out our website, inThinkAgency.com.
And I guess I forgot to ask you, so who is your typical client? Do you work with startups, small people? Do you work with Fortune 500, everything?
We, there's a couple of parameters, but from a revenue standpoint, we usually work, our smallest client is a $3 million revenue company and up, or like a 10 to 15 person business and up. We have worked with like startups who are getting funding, and, of course they have maybe like a couple $100,000 in revenue, but their business plan, that's why we talked about business plan earlier, it's solid, and the projections they're gonna be multi-million dollars. So we will grow with a smaller company, as long as like they fit the criteria that we're looking for, and that's where that business wants to go. And we do have clients in the 200 to $500 million range, but on our smallest side, yeah, usually starting around 3 to 5 million and up.
And I just want to make one comment about the business plan. So one of the business attorneys that I interviewed for Fireside said that most businesses fail because they do not have a business plan. So it sounds like you really use that to help the business succeed.
And it doesn't have to be we do, and it doesn't have to be like a full blown out business plan like you see, and people get anxiety, or like, oh my goodness, I got to build out this 30, 40 page, it could be as simple as one page, as long as you have a plan that you can articulate to your team, or even if it's smaller business, to yourself, and you follow it. That's what we really mean by the end of the day. You have a clear plan. Doesn't need to look official, but that is a fundamental piece first.
Wonderful. Is there anything else that we need to know about your agency?
Yeah, we're actually helping a lot of businesses. We have like an obligation, we feel like, as a marketing agency, that we're always we're really involved with Chamber of Commerce's and other organizations. So we do a lot of free advice and advising. We're doing a campaign to help 1,000 businesses by the end of the year. It's going live in about a week or so. So if you come to our website and visit it, you're going to see a pop-up or a button that's going to say, get some free resources. There's no catch here. Really, at the end of the day, it's resources, that 6 tips on social media so you can get conversions right now. Email copy that's going to help you convert. So things that people can actually take use today and they're going to see results, because it's a community of experts. I think it takes a community of experts and other business people to lift each other up during these challenging times. So we're doing our part to provide what we feel is our expertise across like business tips and marketing tips and sales tips.
And how long are you doing this for?
We're going to run it probably easily for at least a year, but one of our goals is to help 1,000 businesses by the end of this year. And we're going to constantly keep adding resources to it. So it's going to be a growing free resource center.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, the lifeblood of our country is small business, and
we have to help them. I think it's like 85% or more are small businesses. So, that's the economy. That's also my community. I hate to see Main Street, start to look vacant. So we want to help these businesses, and even something as simple as Google My Business, which is a Google profile, just providing pictures and updating people's hours. That's how you can help and contribute back to your local communities, optimizing those Google profiles.
Wow, that's great advice. I'm gonna have to go look at ours. Well, that's really wonderful that you're doing that. So you have really grown this marketing agency, and it sounds like you have some pretty high-powered clients. So congratulations.
Thank you. It's not easy. We're still challenged. No, it's not perfect on our end. And as you grow, and for entrepreneurs that are growing, there's always like milestones that you hit, and there's difficult, and then you adjust, so there's growing pains. And we're seeing too, like during the early stages of the pandemic, like big companies that are falling apart, right? So it doesn't matter how big or small you are. We all have the same problems. We really it's just a different scale. So, we got to come together and help each other grow. And people can't be afraid or be prideful to ask for help.
I agree 100%. If you need help, ask for it. And that free resource page on your website sounds wonderful. I'm going to go to it. Definitely.
And please give us feedback, because if there's stuff that, like, Elizabeth, you're like, I wish I had more of this, or I like that, or let us know, because then we'll add more to it and flush it out. Because and I have a podcast called The Vulnerable Entrepreneur. And that all happened because I was having some side conversations with other entrepreneurs, and people don't talk about like the scary stuff, like the finances or their people, or how this has been tough on their relationships at home or family. So like, I want to share those experiences, so you're not alone. Like, it's a community of entrepreneurs as well, besides business owners. So again, any way that I can provide value, my team can provide value, that you have something you can take away and it betters your business, that's the goal.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. And I'm assuming that you work with companies all over the country. Is it all over the world, or how far is your reach?
Yeah, all over the country. We have clients that are international too, like they're based out of here in the US, and of course they do an international work. So we work with manufacturers, nonprofits. We work with cannabis. We work with lawyers. We have hospitality groups. So for us, marketing and sales is still the same. If you really peel back the onion, it's still the same core processes. Once we learn the cadence of that industry, we can apply it, because it's a proven methodology. But the methodologies are only as good as your people. So that's why it's important to also hire the right people. And my team members have worked on brands like Coca-Cola, Grubhub, Georgia Power, American Cancer Society. So, your systems and processes are only good as your people. So it's a balance of both.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. And it sounds like you're people and you really know what you're doing too. So especially if you're going to give people their money back if it doesn't work. I've never heard of that before. So
yeah, and I'm trying to, also create a different way for people to respect our industry. Because I think some agencies have unfortunately, and that's across any industry. I think sometimes some people might create a bad experience, and that's what people relate what other agencies are. I'm like, well, you know what? If your concern is capabilities and price, what if I guarantee it? And it took me over the years, and it's, we actually fully disclose how we do it, and the clients are like, this makes sense. I'm like, yeah, it has to make sense. There's no catch. I think businesses that do good business are the ones that really focus on taking care of the client and delivering what they want. If you do that, everything else falls in. Sales and revenue and growth comes, but you got to focus on the customer first. It sounds easy, but it's always not what happens.
Absolutely. And it isn't always what happens. But if you have satisfied clients and customers, I think you're right. Everything else falls into place. And you have to have good managers. Like you said, you have to have good people that know what they're doing, but you really, it's all about the customer at the end. So
100%.
yeah, so it sounds like you have an awesome business plan and a great business going. And if people need marketing help and they're in that middle size range, 3 million and up, then they should definitely give you a call.
Yeah, and if they're smaller, we have partners and we have resources. Like we can pretty much help people across the board. If it's not with us, we're going to definitely put them on the right path or direction so that they get what they need.
Awesome. So feel free to reach out to Kham, everybody.
All right. Yeah, we're welcome it. Looking forward to helping everybody the best we can. Don't be shy to reach out.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you.